guys, welcome back to Uma's Lotus Lounge. This is season 4, and I believe we are in episode 2 of this featured stream on MeetMe and live show on YouTube. Today I am flying solo. I do not have my co-host with me. Dannea is kind of busy at the moment, so I will be doing this show by myself today. But I'm pretty sure I'll do a great job, so listen in, okay? And lend me your ear. And we're going to get some really good news on how to start this week. And I'm very grateful that you guys are all here. Just a big shout out to the MeetMe group. All right. We already have 133 people in the room. Shout out to you guys. And anyone who would like an October reading at the end of the show, it's a 1K gift. So if you are here and you drop a 1K gift and you're still here by the end of the show, which is at 6 p.m. So between like 5:45 to 6 p.m., I will be doing readings for those of you that are live on the MeetMe app. All right. So just drop that 1K gift and I'll get at it. Okay, let's jump into our content for today. Did you guys know that we have a full moon today? Today it is today's October 6th, and it is the Aries full moon. So I thought what would be a great topic for today, the theme of today's show is power and purging. How to find balance under this Aries full moon. So if you've already been feeling a little aggravated, a little frustrated, right? That's probably why that Aries full moon energy is here, and it's here to stay for at least another good 2 weeks. So let's start with an affirmation of the week, all right? If you will, please close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, take a nice deep breath in, and exhale. And this is our affirmation of the week. Repeat after me. I release control and trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good. Does anyone believe that? Put a 1 in the comments if you're a positive person and you believe that. I release control and trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good. Thank you, Afro. Okay. And that's the energy we want to take this week. We have control over nothing. Aries full moon is here. It's meant to like disrupt some stuff, and it's going to disrupt some stuff. All right. But what are we going to do? I release control and trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good. All right. Well done. Now, let's go into... Oh, I clicked on the wrong button. Thank you guys. Yes, if you send a 1K gift, you will, and Afro got it. Thank you, Afro. You will be the first person I will be doing an October reading for at the end of this show. So now let's look at the numerology of today. When you add together, right, 10, 6, 2025, you break down all those numbers and add them together, it comes down to one number, and that number is 7. So today is a great day for spiritual reflection, patience, introspecting, right? 7, the number 7 invites us to slow down and listen to divine guidance rather than rushing decisions. So we have a full moon today, and the number of today is 7. So what is that telling you? It's telling you it's a great time to just slow down. Let this full moon come in and let it show you parts of your life that need to be dealt with. Because, you know, under full moon energy, the reason why people say, oh, people get crazy around the full moon, because what happens is that whatever is in the dark comes to light. That's the general energy of a full moon. So today, some of you might get some rude awakenings with this Aries full moon where you find out things about people, right? Or you find out things about yourself, right? There's that introspection, reflection. So this full moon highlights independence, courage, and emotional intensity. You want to be mindful of impulsive reactions, or if somebody is impulsing on you, you don't want to take it personally, right? Channel that fire that you're feeling today into progress, not into conflict. So how many of you, and be honest guys, like let's have a moment, right? How many of you have been feeling a little anxious, a little agitated today, a little angst, right? And you might take that out on somebody else. Try not to, right? Thank you, butterfly. Let the fire fuel your transformation, not your frustration. That is what you want to take through for today. I'm feeling frustrated, but I'm transforming. I don't want to take this out on somebody else, so I'm going to journal about it. I'm going to write about it. Okay? So I have a recommendation for a crystal and essential oil. You guys know I'm a spiritual healer, so I'm always going to recommend the crystals and the oils. And today, my recommendation is blue lace agate. Agate. Blue lace agate. Because blue lace agate is a very calming crystal. And then when you figure that we have like this big Aries energy this week, right? Full moon, Aries. We might have miscommunication in our relationships or with our friends or on streams, right? Like we know that can happen on streams. So the blue lace agate can calm that Aries fire, soothes communication, and it can also promote emotional clarity. Now, some of you might be like, I've never used crystals before, Uma. Like, what do I do? How do I do that? And I say, use it during meditation. How many of you in here are meditators? Put a 1 in the comments, right? And if you're meditating, it's good to hold like a crystal when you're meditating. Like I like to hold, I have a clear quartz and I have a rose quartz that I either use one or the other when I'm meditating, you know? So use it during meditating, or while you're journaling, you can hold that blue lace agate while you're journaling for emotional release, right? It also can help balance your throat chakra. So it's going to help you to learn how to speak from a place of compassion and not reaction. Wouldn't that be good this week under this Aries full moon, right? Hi guys, welcome in. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge. It's a featured stream here on the Meet Me show. We appreciate your gifts to show support, and we appreciate your likes. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me here today. Now, the essential oil that I recommend this week is one of my favorite oils. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, so I do essential oil consultations all the time. And I got to tell you, this oil is absolutely one of my favorites. It's called lavender. Have you guys ever heard of lavender? Have you used lavender essential oil? Well, lavender will help balance Aries fiery energy. And it's also so good for relieving stress and tension. I have a little spray bottle, right? My boyfriend and I, we're going on our vacation tomorrow, and we're going to be staying at a whole bunch of hotels like for the next 9-10 days. And I travel with this little spray bottle of like lavender essential oil and water and mist and make it into a mist. And I love to spray the pillows in hotels when we stay, right? So I don't know if you guys do that, but you can make that yourself. You can just buy some lavender essential oil, put it in a spray bottle, mix it with some water, maybe add another oil that you like, and then just spray it on your pillows. It smells so amazing. So I feel like that's going to help us with our travel anxiety, right? Beth, you do that? That's amazing. Yeah, these little things, guys, the essential oils, the crystals, you know, these little things is what keeps us calm and happy and centered. So before you kind of turn up your nose at it, at least give it a try and see if you like it. You never know. You never know. You might like it. So lavender is really good for promoting relaxation. It's good for an emotional reset. So could you imagine taking like a lavender bath, you know, some lavender essential oil in your bathtub with your bubbles and everything else? That's amazing, right? So here's your takeaways that you want to know for today. We have full moon in Aries, right? Oh, I don't think I even told you guys about the other stuff that we have going on for this week. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. Anybody in here really follows astrology? Because I'm telling you, astrology is life. And once you can see like what's going on, Stacy, thank you. Once you can see what's going on from the cosmos, it just makes so much more sense about why things are going the way they are. And by the way, for those of you that are now coming in, welcome to my live. If you send a 1K gift, you're not getting a weekly guidance reading today. You are getting an October reading today to see what the energy is for October. All right? Okay, thank you for the favorites. So today we have the full moon in Aries, like I told you, which creates emotional peaks, tension, and some hidden energy that wants to be released, right? But did you know that today Mercury also enters Scorpio? We love Scorpio. Scorpio is a deep sign, right? Scorpios, they like to have deep conversations, none of that fluff stuff. And Mercury is the planet of communication. So when Mercury enters Scorpio, communication today gets deeper, maybe even more probing. So you can expect more intensity in conversations today, but you can also expect hidden truths surfacing, right? Ooh, we do love a good wheel. Shout out to Beth. Thank you so much, Beth. You will be getting an October reading at the end of this show. So tomorrow on October 7th, we still have Mercury in Scorpio, but it squares Pluto. So tomorrow we might see some conflict or power struggles come up in conversations. Be mindful of control or manipulation, whether you're doing it or someone is doing it to you. You want to be careful about that because that's that kind of energy dynamic going on. Now, midweek, we have Venus opposing Saturn. And in relationships or matters of the heart, there could be some somber moments, responsibilities, or tests of commitment. So it's looking like a very trying week, right? We have emotional intensity, right? This is a week of catharsis, anger, frustration, or sudden clarity, depending on how advanced you are in your energy. There could be some deep conversations and truth seeking this week. That Mercury move into Scorpio pushes us to go beneath the surface. And we wouldn't want superficial conversations this week. We want to get to the meat of the story. So either you or people could be doing this to you. You can expect probing questions, secret discoveries, and transformation through communication, right? Now, there might be some drama this week, and we really don't like that on streams, but it happens. So this week we're going to have the Mercury-Pluto square, which can suggest tension in dialogues, gaslighting, manipulative speech, or pushing too hard to control outcomes. I always say take a breath before reacting. And of course, relationships will be tested this week. Of course, the 1 week my man and I go on vacation is the week that relationships will be tested, but I'm pretty sure we're going to pass with flying colors. Venus and Saturn are going to weigh in on obligations and boundaries, and there might be some pressure in romantic partnerships or friendships. You're going to be asking the question this week, are things balanced, fair, or burdensome? So, Bet said, sounds like it is a week we should hermit. I am with you. And if I wasn't going on a vacation, I probably would. That's great advice. But I think here's some of my suggestions to handle this week. Number 1, give yourself space. Space for reflection, journaling, meditation, quiet time. I know, like, for instance, my man and I tomorrow, we have to take our first leg of our trip is like a 7-hour drive. So we're going to be together in the car for 7 hours. But do you have to be like together, like sitting up front with each other? Or can one person be driving and one person sit in the back and then do what they need to do, whether it's listening to their podcast or meditating or reading a book or just spending some quiet time alone? You know what I'm saying? So there's ways, even if you're kind of like stuck with someone for the week and you can't hermit, there's ways for you to create space. I have this habit that even when I'm traveling, I still meditate. I don't know. Do you guys meditate like that? So even though we're going to be waking up, Wednesday morning in a hotel, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to tune in. I'm going to find a quiet spot in that room. And if I can't find a quiet spot in the room, I'm going to find a quiet spot in the hotel lobby or outside or even my car, right? And just tune in and get myself centered for the day, right? So that's what I'm going to say about that. This week, you want to question before you speak. Before you speak, ask yourself these questions. Is this necessary? Is this kind? Or am I responding from reaction or clarity? Right? Because remember, there's a lot of impulsive energy this week due to that Aries full moon, Mercury in Scorpio, and we don't want to just act on our impulses. I mean, usually ever, but definitely not this week. Okay? Use the full moon energy today. Today's the full moon in Aries. Do a releasing ceremony, right? If someone wronged you, write them a letter. Burn it under the full moon. Clear clutter. Has anybody this week already started feeling like, I got to clean up this place? I got to get things in order, right? Thank you. So those are things that you can do using this full moon energy. And concerning the love and the relationships this week, just be honest, respect your boundaries, respect the other person's boundaries, be honest, have honest communication. This is a great week for couples, honestly, because you guys can have those conversations that you've been avoiding or maybe tiptoeing around. And you guys are like, you know what? Let's be honest. Where are we at? What are we doing? Right? So as much as the energy this week is kind of tempting to kind of go off on somebody, you can also use it for good. You can use it for good. Yes, Aries energy is definitely a force to reckon with for sure. Now I have some weekly horoscopes. Okay, this is coming from Times of India and Yoga Journal. So I'm going to go through all 12 of the zodiac signs and give you your horoscope for the week, what you can expect this week. And then right after that, I'm going to go into the Tarotscopes where I'm going to pull some tarot cards for each sign and give you a message. Now remember, the two people so far that are getting readings at the end of the show are Beth and Aphrodisiac. If anyone else wants to join them, it is a 1K gift. And you will get an October reading to see what's coming up. Okay. All right. Aries. Do we have any Aries in here? Drop your sign. If you are Aries, drop your sign in the comments. Aries, sun, moon, or rising. Your horoscope this week says that your emotions are going to be the loudest because the full moon is in your sign. So this week you can expect to break through a block and see yourself more clearly. So congratulations to Aries on that. Then we're going to go to Taurus. Taurus, you're being told to pull back to rest this week. You may feel drawn to solitude or to work on yourself on the inner. Not a bad idea, Taurus. Like Beth said, this might be a good time to go into hermit mode. Okay? Gemini, do we have any Geminis in here? That's you, Butterfly? Awesome. Gemini, your social life picks up. Yay. And you can gain some clarity in your finances this week. So you have a good week to look forward to. Cancer, you may face a career or reputation moment. All right. Decisions now carry weight. So you want to be extra careful about the decisions you make. Okay. Cancer, after you, it's Leo. Any Leos in here? Leo, expect a push to grow or step outside your comfort zone. Intimacy or hidden connections might call your focus this week. That is for the Leos, sun, moon, and rising. Virgo, you have resolutions or settlements around finances could materialize this week. So Virgos, expect some good news about your finances. Libra, you may reassess your partnerships. Are they balanced? New insights can shift dynamics. Libras love partnerships and they love equality. So if they feel like their partner is doing more than they're doing, they're going to step up. Or if they feel that they're doing too much and their partner's not doing enough, we can expect some communication about that. Scorpio, with Mercury now in your sign, your words carry power. Use the intensity wisely. So Scorpios, you're being reminded not to be cutting with your words, to be kind. you can still get your point across. Okay. Sagittarius, fun, romance, and creative sparks appear. Don't ignore them. You definitely want to follow through. So Sagittarius, you guys are going to have a fun and flirty week this week. Capricorn, home and family matters may demand awareness and adjustment. So if you have been wondering about some things concerning your home and family front, you're going to get the awareness that you need this week and the clarity that you seek. All right. Yeah. Libra was, you may reassess your partnerships. Are they balanced? New insights can shift dynamics. Aquarius, your mind is active this week. Connections, learning, or communication bring growth. So if you feel like you just can't sleep this week, Aquarius, you have all these thoughts coming in. That's why it's overactive, but it can bring growth if you move on it. And finally, Pisces, you have internal shifts stirring. You might sense a new direction or align deeper with your spiritual self. So pay attention, Pisces. Some good information coming in for you. All right. What else can I tell you guys? That's it for the horoscopes for the week. Now we're going to go to a message for each zodiac sign. So we're going to go back through the zodiac signs. All right. And I think as of right now, I'm doing readings for Aphrodisiac and Beth. If anybody else wants an October reading, it's a 1K gift or any combination of gifts. Once it totals to 1K, you will get your bouncer status and you will also get your October reading. Okay. Okay. Let's get to, we're going to start with Aries. Do we have Aries in the house? Let's see. What is the message for Aries this month? This week. All right, Aries, you're going to be, even though the full moon is in your sign and we're looking at it as disruptive, it can also be a lot of entertaining, right? Rejoice in celebration and sacral chakra, which tells me that you're going to be very creative this week. So Aries, I feel some of you have somebody from your past coming back, whether it's a friend or a lover, or maybe you're thinking of a friend or a lover from the past, and you're going to want to, you're going to want to reach out, or you're going to want to have some sort of communication with them. And that makes sense because we have that Scorpio and Mercury thing going on along with the full moon. So Aries, I feel like you're making some changes in your relationships this week. Either you're cutting people from your life or you're reinvesting back into the relationships that are important for you, right? So that's going to be important for you to note, Aries. Britt, did you send a 1K gift? Not yet. All right, you're halfway there. If you send another plunko, you will get an October reading at the end. All right, Taurus. Let's see. Taurus, you are winning. I guess your desire to pull in, right, and go into hermit mode, Taurus, is working out for you. Positive movement forward. Triumph. That's the winning card. So your horoscope said that you're feeling drawn to solitude. Coco, you got it. I'm going to be doing an October reading for you. Thank you so much. And I feel like with Taurus, you're feeling that need to pull in and that solitude, but you're not just kind of like lazing around the house, right, Taurus? What you're doing is you're focusing your energy and it's going to work out well for you. You have good news coming in this week. That is for Taurus. All right, Gemini. Gemini, your horoscope said your social life picks up and you're going to have clarity in your finances, and your clarity is leading to success. Look at that. Victory and success, Gemini. Transformation. And you had a third card that fell out, which is new beginnings. New beginnings, right? Yeah. So I feel like with the Geminis, what's happening is that they're going to be making changes in how they do things this week, and it's going to bring them more money. Right. Look, Stacy said her man's Gemini and he just got a new job. So that new job is going to prompt him to think about his money differently, right? And then it's going to be like, okay, I need to transform. I just went up a level. So I got to go up a level in my lifestyle as well. So good news for Gemini. All right, Cancer, your decisions now carry weight. That was your, you're making changes, Cancer, in your personal life. Base chakra, that's the root chakra. Authority, that's like I'm getting organized, I'm being responsible, I'm becoming a leader in my life. So I feel like with Cancer, you're stepping up. It feels like a lot of signs so far, they are using that full moon Aries energy tonight. And they're making a lot of cuts, you know, because Cancer, what I think of is maybe you were distracting, maybe you were procrastinating, and you're just going to cut that out and say, all right, I got to really get serious about something. So your decisions carry weight. And I feel like you're going to make the right decisions this week. All right, Leo, you got triumphant success and fulfillment of wishes. Wow, way to go, Leo. That's the wish come true, the dream come true card, Leo. So I feel with you, a lot of the cuts you're making are things or people that held you back. And now you're just like big, wide open road to success. So Leo, oh, there you are, Leo. Leo, it's looking good. And you know, just shameless plug, I have my co-host in here, Poppy Black Rob. Rob B is in the building, y'all. And tonight we have our very first recording, our very first live show on YouTube. It's called The Lotus Pond. From the Mud Comes the Message. And we will be live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel. So come on back. Come join us live tonight. We have 4 topics for discussion. We have a panel of interesting guests. And yeah, Leo, it looks like you're on your way up to stardom. So I hope you do. I hope you do come by and check us out. We will be live tonight. Now, Virgo, you also got fulfillment of wishes, but you got trapped in fear. Virgos, don't be too hard on yourself. All right. Your dream's going to come true. Your wish is going to come true, but you can let up a little bit and have some fun along the way. Don't make it all about the destination, Virgos. Allow yourself to enjoy the journey. All right. So that's my message to Virgos this week. Now, Libra, let's see. Libras are reassessing partnerships this week. You know, are the partnerships balanced? They're getting some new insights. Let's see. Look at that. Material and spiritual prosperity. I love that. Triumph. Libras, you guys are winning this week. And happy birthday to the Libras. It is the Libra month, right? So congratulations, Libras. I feel like your reassessments of your partnerships, your insights are shifting you to more financial, material prosperity and victory. So this is a good sign for any Libras that are worrying about their money. I feel like these insights and clarity you're getting this week, right? Lots of Libras. Hi, Libras. Yeah, lots of good stuff coming for you guys. All right, Scorpio, we have Mercury in your sign, and you are shining, Scorpio. You got the awareness card. Look at that. Enhanced intuition. And you got the light card. Look at you shining brilliantly, right? So Scorpios, you are in your element this week. Mercury's in Scorpio. You can't tell a Scorpio nothing this week. They want that. They want that smoke. They want that deep conversation. They want to know what's going on. They want to ask those probing questions. All right. So Scorpios, enjoy this week because you're totally loving Mercury being in your sign to probe deeper and to go past the fluff conversations. All right. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you have, wow, harmony. Oh, got stuck here. You got the harmony card. That's happiness in relationships. You got the universe card, endings, right? happy conclusions to things. So I feel for some Sagittarius, either you're ending like a relationship this week that was like draining on you, or there's an end to some difficulty in your relationship and it's just like smooth sailing ahead, right? I feel like Sagittarians, something about that Mercury and Scorpio energy this week, you guys are really going to have some good conversations with your partners and it's going to make you feel good, you know? So that's good for the Sagittarians. All right, let's look at Capricorn. Capricorn, home and family matters demand awareness and adjustment. What's happening this week for Capricorn? We also have the material and spiritual prosperity that the Libras got, and we got conflict and defeat. So with the Aries full moon, that's the adjustment. You know, Capricorns are also hard on themselves and they tend to like look at the worst case scenario, you know, like be very pessimistic and stuff like that. But I feel with this card, you're getting rid of that conflict and defeat mentality and you're just letting the floodgates are open and the money is pouring in, Capricorn. So kudos to you for moving past those things that you were struggling with. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius, the mind is active. Connections, learning or communication bring growth. So you got the intuition, that's your awareness, right? Awareness is coming up. And rest and rejuvenate. Time to take a break, right? Take a time out. And I feel like you're being told to take a time out this week so that you can get more clarity and more awareness, because that's the awareness that's going to lead to growth. So Aquarians, you're being asked to sit still this week, or at least meditate if you're not meditating at this point. All right, Pisces, you have internal shifts stirring. Let's see what that's about. Temptation is your card. Temptation, movement, choices, and decisions. So this is a clear-cut thing for Pisces. You guys are moving past those addictions, right? Now, when people say addictions, they tend to think like drug or alcohol, but it could be addictions to sugar, addictions to drama, right? Addictions to anything, really. So I feel, Pisces, that you guys are, you know, finding your alignment. And as you go deeper in your alignment with your spirituality, it's moving you away from the temptations of the flesh, whatever that may show up as, right? All right. Those are the 12 signs for, did I do that? For the zodiacs. All right. Well, before I end the recording, I'm going to be doing the readings for, let me see, for Beth, my #1 top gifter, Aphrodisiac, and Coco. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. Anybody who sends a 1,000 gift will get an October reading. So I'm going to be doing those readings for those 3 people. But I'm going to end my podcast on this note. This week I am traveling. It is my beautiful partner's birthday, you know, big Libra energy. So we are going on our close to 2-week vacation starting tomorrow. So I want to give you guys a heads up that next Monday is his birthday. So I will not be live for this show because we will be at Disney World. Okay. So, you know, just replay this. Replay this if you'd like. But we're going to be spending the whole day at Disney World. This week, I don't really have any events. Tonight, I have a psychic development class. But like I said, I'll be off this week. So there's no events that I have coming up for this week. But don't worry. We will be back again next week. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here in the Lotus Lounge. Thank you for listening to the podcast. And I hope that the information I gave you was helpful. Please drop a like wherever you're watching this on the recording and leave me a comment and let me know how this podcast every Monday at 5 p.m. is affecting you. And hopefully it's affecting you in a meaningful way.